Buffs Nation, we got some more great news to talk about. Hope you guys had a great day. I just crushed this presentation at work to finish up my day. And I mean, I only, talked for like 4 slides, but it is what it is. Feels good when you do something right. You get that confidence going. And then you just want to hop on here and talk to the fellas. You know what I'm saying? So y'all be sure to chime in right now. Let me know who's watching. Hit that like. And we got some good news to share. I love this. So while I have not had time yet to watch the full Well Off Media videos from this week, I did see circulating on Twitter Coach Prime, Coach Mathis, Coach Kelly, all taking time to recognize a couple of our freshmen. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome? First off being Cormani McClain. And Jennifer, thank you for chiming in. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it as always. Let me know your thoughts on this. I mean, I love these stories, because these kids, they come in here 18 years old, whatever, and this is where they, learn to become responsible. They learn to become, the adults that everybody expects to see from them, as they finish off their time in college, and then a lot of them get to the NFL, and it's awesome to see that progression is being recognized and called out for them. I love to see that because everybody could use a little bit of encouragement, And we saw Coach Mathis talk about Cormani McClain, a guy that I think has gotten a lot of unwarranted criticism because there's a lot to figure out, man. When you come here right before the season starts, there's like not only the cultural changes, but the school changes, and then, what is expected of you from a practice and performance standard. Everything is just raised. It can just take a little while to get used to, running at a new pace, right? It was great to see Coach Mathis talking about how, Cormani, I'll take a look at it here. We can listen to it on Twitter. I believe he was saying how Cormani, wasn't coming out of running the gassers. He was doing that whole thing. Forget the actual situation. My memory sucks. But man, this is just awesome. And he said, you know what, Cormani, I'm like really proud of you. You've grown a lot. And then, everybody's clapping and the team is all about it. I love to see that. I love to see him recognized in that way. And then Coach Prime is saying, well, man, he's gonna play a lot. He's gonna play well, to paraphrase. And so I would expect to see him start this week. And man, do we need a corner like Cormani McClain going up against their 6'5" wide receiver who's got like 7, 8 touchdowns, something like that, man. We need that length. We need that size. We need him and Travis to shut down this passing attack. We need this defense to lead the way. Right now, the only way we get this win against Arizona is we put some stops, to their offense on a handful of drives. We get some turnovers, we get some interceptions. It's awesome. Secondly, they called out another freshman that I haven't talked about in quite a while. Maybe since, honestly, done a devoted video to him since he committed or since he signed here. And that's modern day graduate Jordan Onovughe. I think he's about 6'2" as well, over 200 pounds, freshman wide receiver, number 80, late bloomer. He didn't get significant playing time. He didn't start until his senior year at Mater Dei, which, Mater Dei is a top 10 high school program. But nonetheless, that's kind of why he didn't have this big time hot recruitment, Didn't play really till his senior year. And he's coming in here grinding, man. He is built, he is, he's got some size to him. He's thick, not as big as Demaryius Thomas, but I try and give you guys some comparisons for those of you who are in the local Denver Boulder area, kind of like that kind of wide receiver. Powerful. He's got some power to his game as a wide receiver, right? And this was really cool to hear Charles Kelly all fired up saying, hey, at 6:00, we always meet with the secondary. And you know who's always there? Jordan. number 80. He's always there. He's always taking notes because he wants to be not a student of the game. Like, he wants to be a master of the game. He wants to understand what is going on in the minds of cornerbacks, secondary guys, other DBs, what's going through their mind, how they're going to play things from a fundamental standpoint, so that he can take advantage of that as a wide receiver. I love that. I love that. And it was great to see him get some recognition. And I think Coach Prime was, again, this is all paraphrasing, he's saying something along the lines of, continue to work and you're going to get on the field, man. I love that. I love that. So again, man, with having the microscope on this football program every day, there's going to be a lot of things that happen at all football programs or many football programs, and it's always going to get blown out of proportion here because, it's Coach Prime. It's Colorado. They hate us because they ain't us, that type of thing. But it's great to see these positive things coming through as well. So with that being said, I'll get to your comments here in just a minute. I appreciate y'all, but maybe we try, hopefully Bucky won't copyright strike me, but I'll pull this up on Twitter and we can listen to these things together. I mean, this stuff is freaking awesome, man. This stuff just makes me so happy. People succeed and have success. All right. 1 second. Hopefully y'all can hear this. Enable the audio. Here we go. Man, I hope this works. We're going to start with Jordan Onovughe.
Come up here. What makes you different, man? I watch you every week. You work your butt off. You don't complain. Fight through injuries. Fight through adversity. And you just want it.
Sure.
Why? Tell me why is that?
Probably say my motivation comes from high school. I didn't play since to my senior year, so it kind of motivated me. I had to deal with a lot of adversity injuries throughout my whole career. Getting told I wasn't good enough, stuff like that. So I just come every single day, take advantage of my opportunities. Look at the guys in the receiver room, get inspired, take all with try to take all their good stuff, put it in my game, and just just learn, just get better every single day.
Well, they're watching you too. You keep doing what you're doing.
So appreciate
All right,
you.
because you're gonna play here, boss.
Sir.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Every evening at 6 o'clock, we meet with the defensive backs, linebackers. Okay? Everybody has their position meeting. He comes to the DB meeting. He comes to the DB meeting because he wants to see how we're teaching it so he knows how to develop. I noticed that. See, when you do stuff that people aren't expecting, eventually you'll get where you want to get to. I tell you this, I said it to begin with, the only place success comes before work is in a dictionary. So you got to work.
Love it. Love it. Love to see this. And a shout out, change the narrative. Change 7.
Come up here, sir.
That. Pause. Don't be doing that to me. Shout out to change the narrative. Change right there. Oh, I'm not even following this guy? That's terrible of me. Following. There we go. If I repost you, I gotta follow you. And now we'll get to the Cormani one. Here reposted by, one of our day ones. No SCO zone. Look, he's grown so much, and I'm proud of you, bro. Coach Prime let it know earlier in the season, Cormani was still adjusting. Now I lost where I was reading. Was still adjusting to his new lifestyle in Boulder. However, this week he expects him to dominate versus Arizona. We wanted Cormani to play because we saw the highlights, the stars, and the opportunity. Coach Prime let it be known from the beginning. This isn't just about football, but developing men. It's clear Cormani now understands this assignment. Now, Watch as the staff's investment in his growth off the field translates on the field. Wonderfully written, No Sco Zone. Appreciate you, man. You're a big part of this Buffs community, man. And if you guys aren't following No Sco Zone, y'all definitely should. Oh, sweet. I can do this full screen. So let's go ahead and listen to this together.
If you tell me you don't want this, I won't hold you accountable to this. Coach Mathis just told me a great story. Coach Mathis, tell them the story you just told me in the cafeteria about one of our players.
Cormani. Yesterday, they had the race, right? So Cormani was on Benji's side. So when Benji lost, everybody had to run. There's some folks that was on their side that didn't run. And he got up there and ran that gas. He didn't get off to the side, none of that stuff. Like early in the year, he would have went off to the other side and not ran his gas. But he got over there and ran the gas and ran it all. He's grown so much, man, and I'm proud of you, bro. And I was on your ass every day. I'm proud of what you're doing about it. You know what I'm saying? That right there shows growth in you by doing that. Because earlier in the season, you wouldn't have done it. You just slid off to the side and wouldn't have worried about it, right? But I'm proud of you, boy, and you're going to have a good game this weekend because you're growing.
He's going to have a great game. He's going to have a great game. Early in the week, I told him, I said, you're not going to do this bull jump this week. You're going to play this week and you're going to win. You're going to play this week and you're going to dominate. You're going to play this week and you're going to be him. But he's been focused. And guess what he's going to do this weekend? He's going to win. Who else going to win?
Me.
If you tell me.
Me, I'm going to win. You got me hyped up, Coach Prime. Man, I love that. I mean, that is just, that's great stuff to see these guys recognized. It's amazing stuff. Jordan Onovughe, 6'2", 200 pounds. That's a true freshman. It's freaking awesome. All right, I'll get to your comments. There are a few more things that I want to touch on. Again, I'm going to be on with Buffs Overload here at 7 p.m. here in a bit. It's going to be awesome. So y'all be sure to tune in for that. James Woodard. Hey, David, did you see Well Off yesterday? I saw these Well Off clips. I haven't seen anything else. So if there's something that you want to make sure that I see, let me know what it was, and let's talk about it, okay? Andrew Cameron Walter. I mean, consistent. Thank you for being in here. Appreciate it, as always. Oh, man, Cedric, man. Come on, man. Can't we just enjoy, one moment without being critical or cynical? Man, you're cracking me up. Did they talk about why they are not running the ball for a bounce offense? Hey, man, from my understanding, they talked about it earlier in the week. I think they talked about it in one of the Well Out videos. And we're just going to have to see if there's any changes. Again, kind of the theme right now is like every week I would like to see change, and we just haven't seen it. So my expectation is that probably won't change too much, but I hope that I am pleasantly surprised this week with the offensive approach, that we throw them some new looks, that we throw them some of that 12 personnel, that we run some max protect sets, that we run the ball, that we see some Cavassier smoke. Would that be great? S. McDade, Sadie McDade. Anyways, hey, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts on all this stuff. DeMarcus Leonard. Man, if Cormani and Travis sit down both sides of the field. Sorry, I read that. You meant shut down. But maybe we just start saying shit down. Maybe that's our style of shutting it down. Shitting it down. Both sides of the field. OMG, we're going to be scary. Absolutely. Absolutely. Cormani was just going to take a little bit of time to get there, man. Again, he didn't have the spring. And that one reason why I expect so much out of this 2024 class that's coming in here is because everybody's going to be here. Everybody right now that's committed, they're all going to be here in January. So they're going to, get that adjustment period out of the way while the season's not going on. and they're going to come in here ready to contribute. It's going to be great stuff. Nicole Carter, I appreciate the kind words. Well, today via Well Off. I mean, that's awesome. And I just want to say, man, we cannot take this for granted. No other college football team is doing it the way that Coach Prime and the whole family and friends, they're doing it. It's an amazing thing. We can never take this for granted, that they're giving us this kind of access and they're giving us stuff to talk about every day. I mean, that's so fun. I love it. Cedric. I mean, people are shy. It takes me a little while to come out of my shell. I'm never going to pick on an 18-year-old for being soft-spoken. Kanita. Hey, David. Let me know what you think about all this stuff. Yeah, I love the encouragement for Cormani. Yes, and I'm glad he's being publicly recognized because he was publicly criticized too. Coach Prime said, ask Cormani, a month or two ago, and it's great to see Coach Prime and the staff, Kevin Mathis, I was on you. It's great to see that he's progressing and he's growing. Again, who's going to run that race? He's competing. He's putting on for his team. Love to see it. Reginald, what's up? Y'all let me know if you got any questions or anything you want me to comment on. Marcus, some perspective. I love it. He has only been here 3 months. It takes time. Yeah. I just think it's funny, man. A lot of these and I know most of us, not most of us, but a lot of people, man, that are criticizing Cormani, this and that, whatever, criticizing college football players. They're doing it from anonymous accounts and whatever. If that's your thing, that's fine. But it's like, man, can you go back and remember when you were 18 years old? I mean, man, sometimes it takes time, and I know the expectations are high. But again, when you get disciplined, or when you get coached, usually, things don't turn around that next day. It's a process of growth. I love that. See facts. Optimistic agrees. Let's go. Yeah, hit that like. Man, if y'all want to see a win over Arizona this week, come on. Oh, Pete, nice, man. Coming in. By the way, man, I love your photo. This is awesome. I love the look you got going on here. Anyways, shall I say that's nice? Sorry, man. It was low-hanging fruit. Anyways, Dave, no sign of Juju in any of the man, you're breaking my heart. Do you know if he's on the team anymore? I do not know. But as of last Saturday, he was on the team. He was on the sideline. I think he got in for a few plays. I was at the game. He was there. I'll look for him this game. But, man, I don't know what's going on with him, man. But I would love to see him on the field, man. He's so good. Let's go, man. We got more Florida people in here. Let's go Tampa. Thank you, Tampa. State of Florida, one of my biggest audiences. Thank you for the support. I love all y'all. Let's go Canada. I'm still going to be proud of this team no matter what because they're new and coming. That's right. We're building this thing. And guys, again, man, when you go, there is more satisfaction reaching the mountaintop, man, when you've experienced some lows, when you've, when you've been slapped around a little bit, when you've taken some hits. That's what made this Nuggets championship, man, so satisfying. Going through the rebuilding years, going through, nothing happening, going through the playoff heartbreaks, going through Michael Porter and Jamal Murray injured, going through getting swept by the Suns, going through, having guys start in our backcourt that aren't in the NBA now, man. It was just rough. Going through the blown leads against Portland, all those things. People wanted Michael Malone gone. They wanted this or that guy traded. They wanted this guy. Nah, They were all bought into the process. Everybody was. We understood the process, what Mike Malone was trying to do, what how all these pieces fit together. And now look at us, man. Now look at us. We got to be patient with the process. Dynasties are not built overnight. Money helps, absolutely. But dynasties weren't built overnight. Yeah, the fact Cormani is maturing is a win. I love it. I love it. Ooh, yes. Let's talk some weather. Absolutely. Giggity. David, what do you think about the team practicing indoors this week instead of on the grass practice field? It's been nice in Boulder, right? Hope kickers are at least getting outside. Man. Yeah. I guess it's okay, Let me look at the forecast right now. I do think practicing outdoors kind of breeds more of a toughness. So I would prefer that. But I will say yesterday and maybe Tuesday, but definitely yesterday, the weather was terrible. It was awful. So it was very rainy and stuff. It just wasn't good conditions to be practicing. But forecast for Boulder on Saturday is a high of 56. Yeah, I feel like we should be outside, right? But maybe I don't know if this would help or not, but it's like, maybe we just don't want guys slipping during the week and only want them slipping on game time. We got to figure out a turf issue. That is a huge thing. Like, again, there's just been a lot of elements that we're not operating at our highs right now. Field been terrible all year. I'll get into all that stuff later. But I am going to audition. I know there's not even an opening, but get me to be that PA guy. I'll have a saying. I'll get everybody hyped up no matter what down it is. I'll make sure everybody's up making noise. I got a plan. And, put me in, coach. Put me in, Rick George, Coach Prime. I'm not trying to take the guy's job. But, have me there. DJ Dave. DJ David Talks Buffs. Getting everybody hyped every play. Have me as the hype man. I want to be the hype man. But to circle back to it, man, I feel like we probably should be outside. But if we win on Saturday, that cures everything. Not going to be mad about any of this. Coach Prime has his homeboy come in from that O-line coach, and he coached Jordan Seaton in Florida at IMG. Man, I just want to see this line coached. I love how people, man, want to comment on this line. Like, and it's clear, man, they just haven't been watching the games, man. Yes, does our offensive line need some more confidence? Yes. There are ways to instill that. And I think that, again, you can't turn a guy, into a complete dog, that isn't that. But you can teach more tenacity, more aggression, more focus, better communication. These guys aren't playing with tenacity or communicating. If we're looking at, like, the entirety of the year. Do I think we played a little bit better as an offensive line last week compared to UCLA? Yes. Does that have to do with Pat Shurmur having to come in there and fix it up too? Probably a little bit. Going to give you my opinion, man. I feel we got the dogs to have a decent offensive line. Neither scheme nor coaching has helped them. They've gotten a raw deal. Caleb, so clutch. They're all maturing. Experience is your best teacher. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Andrew, bringing up a great point here. Cormani has a way of hustling to the ball or to make tackles. He's going to be great. He's going to be a beast. Absolutely. You remember him in that Oregon game? hustling to stop that fake punt, on the way opposite side of the field, him laying that guy out at the end of the game. I love it. Portia, set tripping. Do you think our Buffs defense can hold the Arizona wide receivers? They're bigger in size. Yes, I do think we can. We're going to have Travis out there, 6'2", 6'3". We're going to have Cormani out there, 6'3". I think Omari and Cooper's like 6'1". Nonetheless, he's got good size for a corner. TCU had 6'5" wide receivers as well. A 6'5" and a 6'3" wide receiver. They got a 6'5" wide receiver, a 5'11" wide receiver, and Lamonius Craig is 6'1", I believe, or 6'2", so like the same size. They had a 6'5" tight end. TCU did, I think. They got a 6'5" tight end at Arizona as well. So we've seen it in the past where, at least with the wide receivers, the TCU wide receivers didn't really do much against us. They killed us with the tight end game. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on. Their tight end, McLaughlin, number 84, beast. But I think we can. And if our front seven continues to improve, get some more pressure, anything can happen. Again, when you got a redshirt freshman quarterback back there, Noah Fafita's done a good job of taking care of the ball. Again, 14 touchdowns to only 4 picks this year. But when you go back and watch some of that UCLA, man, like there are times where he locks onto that first read and would rather, kind of thread the needle a little bit than maybe looking throughout his progression, because there are other guys open. So if we can kind of bait him in, so like thinking, all right, man, I'm going to throw to one of these more narrow windows. I mean, Travis can come up with a pick. Cormani still due for his first interception of the year. Am I right? I think Rod Ward, is he due for his first interception of the year? Need a new facial hair look. Me like it. Well, thank you. There was a someone who commented on my stream as my wife was walking in here a few weeks ago. It was so funny. But she was like, David, I think you're very handsome. Are you single? I live in Boulder, but the facial hair's got to go. Man, that hurt because, again, I kind of got I got a skinny face, why the long face? The beard, just kind of helps my face at least kind of look a little bit more normal. But, man, when it is bare, I look like a kid. And, man, that face, it looks like a pencil stick, man. So, I got to get rid of, got to keep the facial hair. Can't get rid of it. I'm sorry, to that lady, sorry if you're not a fan of facial hair. I'm not your guy. If you need a guy with a clean face, it's just not going to be me. But anyways, I got Lex, so we don't need to go down that rabbit hole too much more now. But anyways, that cracked me up. But thank you for the kind words. I do need to trim it up a little bit. Nicole, David, I know Coach Prime says he has learned patience. Do you hear a difference in his tone in public messaging about the team the last 2 weeks? I think so, a little bit. Now, I didn't listen to everything last week, and I only got through about half of his press conference on Tuesday, just to be honest with you. So I do think you're right, though. And I do think that, anytime, man, like, I think it's clear that, Coach Prime knows, like, this is another level. And everybody has to grow. I think throughout the time, throughout our struggles and ups and downs this year, through our downs, the whoopings that we've gotten, or whooping, like that we got from Oregon. I think that I think overall you've kind of seen his tone change. And understand kind of where this team is at. again, I think there's a lot that Coach Prime can be proud of, but anytime that you do have to make some adjustments with the coaching staff, I think that can be a humbling thing. And I think you've seen that as well. All right, going to scroll through some of these. We got 115 people in here. Thank you so much. Y'all be sure to hit that like. And if you want to ensure that I read your comment, I'm going to start kind of scrolling a little bit. Probably go for another 10 minutes or so. Send me a super chat. But I'm going to try and point some of these things out. That's Corey Smith. Man, if Tank don't send Taylor Upshaw to his funeral Saturday, we're going to have a problem. Oh, yes. I mean, when you got a defensive end that used to be here, man, straight up just talking mad shit, to Shador. I mean, you got to take offense to that, man. And this team better come in, man, with a chip on its shoulder, play with some tenacity, play with some aggression. Again, man, I feel like I've been defending this offensive line group more the last couple weeks than I did before the bye. And I hope that I'm right, that some of this stuff is more coaching than it is them. Let's see them come out and play with some tenacity because, again, when you got something like this happening, you got to go out like it is personal. It is personal now. And if they aren't up for the challenge, if they don't back him up, I'm going to have serious issues with this group. But I think this offensive line is better than some of their performances that they've had. But yeah, we better come out aggressive on both sides of the ball to kick some ass. I know I don't always swear all the time, on these channels. I want this to be kids appropriate, but kids, people say bad words. Don Juan. A lot of warm weather guys on the coaching staff. They probably don't want to be outside themselves. That's a great point. It is a little chilly, this week. It is that November fall, but this is beautiful weather. I mean, it's sweatshirt weather. This is my favorite time of the year is sweatshirt weather. Yeah, exactly. Maybe we don't want guys slipping in practice just during the game time. I know that's cynical. Love moves. Thanks for the love, man. The O-line has completed 386 attempts out of 432 pass plays. Not bad. What do you mean by that, Aurelius? You mean that, like, we've given Shador, like, a clean pocket? Let me do some math right now, like what percentage that is. That's how I'm going to take that. Like, we provided him a clean pocket on 89% of the dropbacks throughout the season. Or is this a sarcastic comment? I'm sorry, I need you to explain more. Am I being punked? Did Taylor Upshaw tweet again? I don't know, man, but guys, I gotta say, like, shoot, man, what the heck happened with Taylor Upshaw, man? That was with the year he's having, 7.5 sacks, whatever. We could have used that on our D line. Absolutely. What did we do to where he transferred? What happened? Let's see here. Aurelius. Bama has attempted 236 pass plays and gave up 30 sacks. Oh, the Buffs call 432 pass plays and have given up 45 sacks. That makes sense. So we're going to be sacked more. There's, again, a law of probability, right? We're going to have more sacks allowed because we're running more pass plays. So let me do some math on that. So we got 89% right here. 236 divided by, 30 sacks on that. Come on now. I have an MBA. I should be able to do this sack rate stuff right now. Hold on. I can't do this math right now. I can't think. Didn't take a second Adderall this afternoon. Sorry, man. Somebody do the math for me. Darren Jennings. The Arizona QB running ability is a concern. Absolutely. Yes. We saw, again, man, and this was just so frustrating, man. You know Oregon State was running that quarterback by committee, okay? You see that guy, the number 0 that they had. I mean, he's got like 7 pass attempts on the whole year. So when he drops back to pass, you know it's either going to be like a one-look read and then run or just a designed run. I think on his like 30-yard touchdown run, I mean, that looked like a designed run. You got to know what the law or what the averages, the ratios, the probability, what those things are. You know, we allowed that guy to run. We need a spy when that guy's up there in the game. Love Moose. Appreciate the kind words. You look good. You feel good. Love Moose. He agrees. Coach Prime has toned it down a lot. I think he understands a little bit more of just kind of where. I mean, I don't think that we were playing bad teams except Colorado State. Sorry, it sucks to be a CSU Ram. We just, played down to their level that day. But, I think our out-of-conference schedule was pretty decent. But it is clearly up a level in the Pac-12. I mean, we got a ton of schools ranked in the conference right now. And I know USC dropped out of the rankings. But, I mean, if you look at every time that we faced the team in the Pac-12, everybody's been ranked except Arizona State and Stanford. Not a lot of teams have to deal with that. See Aurelius coming in here, man. Killing it here. I love that perspective. Again, I didn't feel like the line looked very bad or like doggone awful last week. Did we struggle on some of these long developing plays that were called? Yes. I think some of this is sometimes, man, speculate for whatever reason. Some people think it's because he wants to keep his completion percentage down, which is absolutely stupid. But if you believe that, that's okay. Like, you're still welcome on this channel. But regardless of the reason why, we know that Shedeur just doesn't throw the ball away. He has a tendency to hold on to the ball. He can, and I think Coach Prime, it's just in their DNA, man, to play hero ball, and I think that led to some of the sacks from last week, some of the 4. But yeah, like you see it with Coach Prime too. Like, I don't care what's been going on the whole game. We got the ball with 50 seconds left or whatever it is on our own 5 at the end of the first half. We're going to throw the ball, go down the field. And like, sometimes it's like, nah, man, sometimes you just got to, thank the stars, thank the heavens that it's a 4-point game. Need that, run out that clock, get to the half, make the right adjustments so you can come out there and close that 4-point gap when you get possession, but that, they're just ultra competitive. That's what it has to, that's what it is in my mind. And sometimes like, you just got to curtail that when you're calling the shots, when you're leading these teams. Just say earmuffs. I will do that. That's a great idea, Giggity. Man, look at that. Aurelius coming in here with the stats. So Alabama's at 91%. We're at 89. I love it. I love it. Thank you for that. That provides great perspective on what our success rate is. Now, does that include, I wonder, I don't want to put you to work, Aurelius. Like, I know you're not on the clock, but if you include pressures, what do those ratios look like between the success rate of CU's offensive line to the success rate of Bama's offensive line? I'm interested in that because I imagine we've given up more pressures too. Eric Jennings, you're totally right. Let's address clock management. Man, this has been a big point this week on the show. And I mean, I said it in the post game last week, on Sundays that this I know it's a collective thing, whether you win or lose, all the phases of the game, all the coaches, whatever. But if I were to blame, one area or one coach for this loss against Oregon State, I've said, man, I put it on Coach Prime with that clock management, that game management miscue at the end of the first half. It killed our momentum. It killed the crowd's excitement. And it made that hole much deeper to dig out of. Oregon State should never had the ball, at the end of that half anyway. That was, we did not do ourselves any favors. And sometimes, but like I've said, he hasn't been in a lot of these situations yet because he has been a very successful coach and still is a very successful coach. Let me say, he's a very successful coach. That's why he hasn't found himself in a lot of situations where he needs to own the game management, and he's going to get better at that as time goes on. Again, some people are just like, man, this whole Coach Prime thing's already a disaster, yada, yada. Look at the man's body of work. The man's a Hall of Famer. He's got a gold jacket. He's an incredible businessman. He's an incredible communicator, motivator. He's been successful at everything he does, including, raising his children. They're all successful. So, this man's successful at everything he puts his mind to. There are things that he needs to improve, just like everybody. And just like he needed to improve during his time as a player, he's going to get there, man. He's going to get this stuff, and no doubt are we going to see better clock management and better game management from Coach Prime next year. No doubt. No doubt. Aurelia saying it's all in the 432 attempts. Hurries, drops are in attempts. Sacks are the dead plays. Okay, thank you for explaining that. So, man, that's awesome. Again, man, I think some of this has to do with the coaching and the scheming. And I think Matt McChesney said this right on the DNVR show today. Once there was a book out on our high school spread offense, we made no adjustments. And at the end of the day, we made no adjustments. And I think, this is my theory, I think Coach Prime gave Sean Lewis multiple weeks to get it right. And that man was still calling long developing pass plays. And then when your son gets clobbered against UCLA, it's like, dude, if you continue to do the same thing, that is the definition of insanity. I'm willing to give a little bit of a pass for last week, not totally. But if we don't come out and see some new things this week, I'm going to lose my mind. We cannot be doing the same things. First time to live right. Love that name. David, what's your grade on the season so far? So I have said that it would be an A+ year if we won 6 games and then won our bowl game. I can't say that. I can't say it's been an A+ year so far. I will say right now it's an A. It's an A. Guys, this team was nowhere. It was nowhere last year. It was dead in the water. We thought, again, a lot of this has to do with context going in. When you flip over an entire football roster, an entire football staff, and you just have one cycle to fill, these 100+ positions with, there's going to be things that don't fit right. But I think we got 80% of this roster and 80% of this coaching staff right in one round. And we've won more games than Vegas predicted. And I won money on that. And we beat TCU. And Shedeur is going to break all the single-season passing records in CU history. And we lead the NCAA in viewership as a 4-5 team. Everything is moving in a positive direction for this program. Eric Jenkins says B+. Raphael says, prepare to lose your mind. Ah! I know, man. I know. Us keyboard coaches, man. I know, man. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here in just a little bit. Appreciative of your time as always. I always try and make time. I know that, I was dealing with some other things, last week. But, I'm back and, man, I'm just excited, for this game. Fans, let's make sure we stay through the end of the game no matter what, because this is our last home game. It's senior night or senior day. And, we got a lot that we need to be thankful for, man. Nobody was shown out to the games last year, myself included. Let's finish strong. Y'all. So, yeah, hopefully, man, we run that thing for 250 yards, man. We kick some booty. That's what I'd like to see. Booty beater Bucks, baby. BBB, triple B's, baby. That's what we're going to do. So I will be back in an hour and 13 minutes with Buffs Overload. I appreciate you guys as always. Enjoy your day. Make sure you make somebody's day. I mean, I guess you're making my day for y'all being here. I'll see you guys in a bit. And as always, Sko